Hey, it's new bike day. You ever have those purchases where you're just like not even looking for something, and then you're just, just browsing the interwebs, and the next thing you know, you have a bike in your cart and you're trying to explain why you purchased said bike to your wife with valid reasons? Yeah, that was me. Let's get this open. This is the first bike I've ever purchased from city grounds. I bought the blue wheel set from them for my dirt jumper that I just built up, the Huffy. And I saw this bike on there and I was like, this bike will be perfect for what I'm wanting it for. And I'll explain that later. But first, what I wanted to do is just unbox it, open it, and just kind of see what we're dealing with when you order a bike from city grounds. All right. This is what we got, and I see a chain just to dangling. All the zip ties. This bike is definitely protected when it's shipped. Holy cow. This is pretty impressive. Beautiful white frame. I'm very excited over this with a really cool silver fork. So you'll get this with the handlebars just kind of dangling. And then you'll get a front wheel and a back flip-flop wheel. So this side is a nice free wheel, and then this side is actually a fixie. So you have options there for whichever style you would like to ride, which is pretty cool. And then a seat. It's not the best seat. I'll probably change mine. But this is what I'd like to turn my attention to now, because I'm curious on if this came with any tools or anything. And we got some plastic pedals to be expected. Ooh, and look, fancy wrench and some Allen keys. So let's try to put this bad boy together with only using this. I'm going to start with putting the back wheel on, since it's a single speed, so I can use my little feedback rack to kind of help me keep it up. So let's do that. I changed my mind. We're actually going to put the handlebars on first, so I can get these a little more up and out of the way. So as you're tightening this stem, you want to try to make sure that you're keeping the space on the top and the bottom of the stem around the same space. So basically, you don't want this gap right here to be super close on one side and then really far on the other side. You want to keep it about the same distance top and bottom. So just keep an eye on that as you're tightening it. I'll typically just tighten the top a little bit, then the bottom a little bit, and kind of go back and forth. All right, so now that I have the handlebars set up and I just kind of have them tightened down a little bit right now, obviously when I get it all together, I'll be able to adjust that a little bit better. But we're going to put the back wheel on, and we're going to put it to where the freewheel hub is on the drive side, because like I said, that's the side I would like to use. So let's get that on. Seat post clamp is a 4mm, and it does not come with a 4mm, so you will need to get one of those to be able to put the seat post in. My seat post was pretty tight, so I had to loosen it to get the actual post in. So now let's put on the front wheel. These metal safety tabs go in this little triangle down here in the fork. You might have to loosen the bolts up a little bit to get them to fit, but those are, like I said, just safety tabs. So, well, the wrench works. It's not exactly the most ergonomic thing in the world, but it does work. So, something to be said about that. And this is our first glimpse at it in its entirety. Also, fun fact, this does look like it'll work as a pedal wrench, which it will, to get these pedals on. So that's cool. So we need to adjust the brakes, we need to inflate the tires, and we just need to make sure everything is working properly. But it's a pretty snazzy bike. I love the white. It's technically a different day. I was really hoping to get some riding footage of this, but unfortunately the weather outside is terrible. It started raining today. I was able to put together probably 90% of this bike with this tool and these Allen wrenches. The only thing really that comes to mind is having to fill up the tires, obviously with the pump. It doesn't come with a pump. And the Allen key for the seat post collar is not one of these two. So other than that, I was able to use these two to put it all together. But cool thing about this, I was trying to figure out how to center these brake calipers, and I was having some really big issues. And after a quick Park Tool video, I realized that on the back right here, and actually these parts of the wrench will fit on this right here, and then this bolt back here, you kind of have to go at the same time but in opposite directions to either move it one way or the other. So I had to do that to both of these to get the front and back centered. But I have them with relatively low action, so I mean, to get the actual, it's pretty nice. It feels good. I don't know how it's going to feel on the road because obviously I've not had it out on the road yet. But I will leave the reflectors on this one because this bike is actually going to be for my daughter and I. I have a shotgun seat. Let me grab that real quick. So I have this, and this will actually, it clamps around the frame right here, and then she sits in front of me. And I really like that because I can put my arms around her. So I'll put my arms here, and her hands actually fit right here perfect on these BMX styled bars, which that's one of the reasons why I bought this bike, because I just really like the way it is. It's got the BMX stem, it's got the BMX style handlebars, it's got the BMX cranks, it's a single speed. It's just simple, and I really like that idea. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of the Dirt Jumper, besides it has V-brakes and not the actual disc brakes, which I'm fine with. I had a Spank handlebar set that came with this for free. It was actually the packaging. Cool thing, Spank. I like that you did that. So I threw it on here. I haven't clipped these yet, but I figured that way if we run through any puddles, that'll help prevent us from getting wet or nasty. But I love the white. Very impressed with this bike. So if you happen to buy a Crew Defender 700C from City Grounds, hopefully this will give you a better idea of what to expect. And I think it's great. To center the brakes, I did have to pull out the other wrench set because obviously you're using the one that it came with there, and this is a, I don't remember what size millimeter bolt that was. It's not very big. But very straightforward, very easy to put together, and seems like a very nice bike. So I'm sure I'll get a video up later of a review and a ride and all that fun stuff. But as usual, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take care, everybody.